There's a website called Fiction Horizon. I saw this story about Ruby Rose. She had recently come out on IG and posted a bunch of stuff about behind the scenes of her exit on the Batwoman show. Ruby Rose revealed what really happened on the Batwoman set and why she severed ties with the show. And she went on and talked about it. And there's some backstory or whatever you want to call it, but basically, cause, we all know what Batwoman is and stuff. We don't need that kind of recap. But I'm glad somebody actually typed this stuff out, because as you'll see at the bottom, when she first started posting this stuff on IG, it was like handwritten in like some calligraphy almost stuff. So I couldn't read the shit. It was hard. But anyway, so here she goes after Peter Roth and calls him up or calls him out. It basically sounds like she's calling him a sex pervert, and everything, like a sexual assault guy waiting to happen. During the production of the first season, Ruby suffered a neck injury on the set. She shared the image from surgery and said, "To anyone who said I was too stiff on Batwoman, imagine going back to work 10 days after this." 10 days. Which, by the way, she goes after, damn near the entire cast at a certain point. Well, at least out of the main cast. And she talks about, imagine taking a huge pay cut to play a passion project and being so excited about Comic-Con and then being told they would not adjust the schedule so I could attend. But then saying, "We won't announce it, you have to." And it basically becomes like a face-off. But they said, "We're not going to say anything." And basically that she won't be there. And it's like, a lot of this stuff, I don't know. It's like a he said, she said type thing, where it's like, I don't know the truth. I could see this stuff being true, but man, she calls out like pretty much, like I said, almost everybody. She said, we talked about, nor did I quit. I do not quit. They ruined Kate Kane, they destroyed Batwoman, not me. I followed orders. If I wanted to stay, I was going to have to sign my rights away. A crew member got third-degree burns over his whole body, and we were given no therapy after witnessing his skin fall off his face. But I was the only one to send him flowers and cards, and then we're told we had to do a sex scene without a minute to process. We lost two stunt doubles. I got in the face so close to my eye at a stunt I could have been blind. A woman was left quadriplegic, and they tried to blame it on her being on her phone. So much so, CW didn't even help her to start with because they needed to investigate. So she had to do a GoFundMe. She's a PA that worked via phones. When you're talking about Carolyn Dries, the showrunner, she has no heart and wanted us to finish the season throughout the pandemic, and I told her it was a bad idea. I told her everyone was too distracted. Constantly checking the COVID updates, checking on friends, and seeing Riverdale, The Flash, and Supergirl shut down already. I felt something bad would happen. And, she maybe visited us at 4 times in a year. Unheard of. Let's see. Then she goes on, she talks about, the only person who came out and spoke was Doug Ray, who played her dad, who talked about unprofessional, called my agent after my exit to find a way to leave, to which she replied, "Break your neck, I guess," yet slammed me in the press. I never raised my voice on a set, never have. Doug Ray hurt a female stunt double. Okay, it's like, what difference does it make if it was a man or a woman? See, when people say stuff like that, that makes me say, that if he had hurt a male stunt double, you wouldn't have cared. Because you got to specifically point out it's a female stunt double. It's like when people say, well, hey, you hurt a black person. Like, it'd be okay to hurt a white person or something, some shit like that. It's just the way you phrased it. It's just, like, what are you doing? And then also, he yelled like a little bitch at women. It was a nightmare. Again, he yelled like a little bitch. Right? Okay, so you're trying to accuse him of being misogynistic when you're saying he yelled like a little bitch. And then the whole part, he yelled like a little bitch at women. Again, implying that if he had yelled at men, it would have been okay. See, that's the thing I don't care for. I don't like that kind of shit. So what difference does it make who yelled at? If this is true, he left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted. He abused women. Again, it's like, he abused women. Well, you're all equal, aren't you? So if he abused men, it would be fine. That's the thing. Then she says, whoever does these stupid leaks, I'm finding out who, but it's Cameras. Cameras Johnson, I believe is his name. He played Luke, basically her tech assistant. I think he ended up becoming a superhero in his own right, because they got to do stuff like that. But so she's basically calling him out here, and it's like, what? I don't know. You know, she said, and they wouldn't drive me to work and knew I couldn't legally drive after surgery, so they said, get a taxi. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if it's true. This is terrible. I mean, I believe her because it's like she's at least got some receipts, quote unquote, as they say. But yeah, but here's the beginning, and it's like it's all handwritten. It's like, man, it's hard to read that shit. But here's like, you know, she shows, you know, the pictures and so on and so forth. Now then it starts going to like actually type stuff, and that's good. You know, I mean, it's like that's the stuff I can read. And that's just a repeat of what I had gone through already. But it's like, you know, I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, you're like, I want to believe her because it's like she's saying all this shit, and it's like, you know, I mean, what reason does she have to lie? But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but if all this stuff happened, it's like, surely there's got to be somebody that can corroborate this stuff. I don't know, you know. Anyway, I think this is just really, really bad. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if all this stuff is true, because you know they're so woke and everything that it's like those who are woke are, you know, they probably hired people who weren't as qualified for their jobs and all that kind of stuff, and people who just don't care. It seems like the people who project the most wokeness are actually the least woke, or actually the most offensive, or actually the ones who care the least, who don't give a shit about you. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here. I've already gone 6.5 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.